Hello, hello, and welcome to this very special edition of Community TV with Adaire. This is Community TV for you by TV for you by TV from me. And this is where I speak to people in the community who are doing amazing things to better the lives of people around them. Now, that could be yoga, it could be meditation, it could be physical fitness, it could be gardening, learning to cook, or even skincare. And today it's my pleasure to welcome back Tansy Boggon. Now, Tansy helps people with weight and eating concerns such as yo-yo dieting, and most of us, I would hazard a guess and say, know more than what we'd like to about that. She helps people with emotional, hang on a minute, I have got something coming in. Just need to shush that and keep going. So Tansy helps people such as who experience weight and eating concerns such as yo-yo dieting, emotional or overeating, and release the weight of dieting and establish an intuitive and joyful relationship with food and their body. Now, there's a lot more here to this introduction, but I'm actually going to bring Tansy in without further ado, and we can have a chat with her about what else you do and how you do it. Hello, Tansy. Thanks for joining me. Sunday
Thanks
afternoon.
for having me. Yeah.
All the way from New Zealand. So what I'd like to do is, before we do introduce you properly, just to let people know that Tansy is a second-time guest. She was a guest here about 3 weeks ago, and she did offer we'll talk a bit more about the book Joyful Eating in just a moment, and there is a copy of the book up for grabs. It is a electronic copy, I believe.
Yeah.
So if you would like to go into the draw for this book, please do let your friends know that we are live here, so we can help as many people as possible. And also let us know below, just say, pick me.
Yeah,
and we'll draw the prize winner at the end of our conversation here. So Tansy, do tell us what led you to be sitting here having this conversation today.
So I think I talked a little bit about my story last time.
You did. We did have some other people do it.
I think the thing that I probably want to talk about today, in terms of what brought me to write the book, was, I suppose, our attachment of happiness to achieving our weight loss goals. That sort of perception that when I achieve this weight loss, I'll be happy. I'll be healthy, I'll be able to do all the things that I wanted to do with my life. And we place a lot of conditions on that. And that can then make it a much more weighty thing, when I use that term, but we've put a lot more on ourselves, a lot more expectation, pressure to succeed. So I think for me, it was very much helping people to relax around food, their body, that your weight doesn't really, it's not a guarantee of particular health or to be able to do certain things in your life. So really helping people to relax a lot of their rules around food.
It's an interesting one, because I think we do suffer from it quite a bit, and I know I definitely do sometimes now, and I definitely did more to the point, in years gone by, but it was like your happiness was attached to a number on a scale, and how content you felt was attached to a number on a scale, and that it was, and it's only been in recent years that it's actually become a little bit more of a awakening, I guess, that you actually can choose independently of that number, so did you find there a relationship with the more choices that you make to be happy and content regardless of the number on the scales, that they would maybe find it easier to move down in a downward way, or is that something that's
Yeah, I suppose my focus is very much about prioritizing happiness and contentment in this moment. And no matter what your weight is or whether it changes, really focusing on the lifestyle behaviors for health, because there is no guarantee of weight. And it's as if we think that we know what our weight should be. Like we're in control of this body, that, the genetics, how our body responds to the food that we eat. We don't really know what our perfect weight is. It's something our mind's made up. And then we have a scale and we look at it, and if our weight's slightly below what we think it should be, we can feel, good and happy about ourselves, and we go about our day feeling, really energetic and alive. And then, we have days where we're above what we want to be, and we can feel low and flat, and allowing the scales to dictate how we're feeling, when I really think that focusing more so on feeling good, independent of weight, can help you to make healthier choices and to help your body respond well to the food that you eat. So even something like stress, and even the stress of dieting or the stress of feeling guilty and ashamed if you're eating, these sorts of things can really sabotage our body's ability to assimilate nutrients and affect our eating behaviors. And so there's so many other factors that come in where that relaxing and focusing on a good mood and feeling good rather than our weight dictating that.
That's pretty. I think that's an amazing. It's a mind shift that needs to happen. I'm just jotting down some names here. Theody's going, more than 000, pick me.
Yeah. Wonderful.
And I'm just jotting down your names, ladies. We will have a draw at the end of our conversation, and Theoni has also said she started a watch party over in our community, Women in Business Adelaide. So thank you so much for that, Theoni. And if you are watching from the Women in Business Adelaide group, inside of the group in the watch party, it's nice to hang out over there, but we won't see your comment unless you come over to the live broadcast on mytimetv.live. So please do come over, and also make sure that other people that would love to hear this information, because at the end of the day, we're all here to help each other develop and grow, and to evolve our thinking so that we can be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And the information that Tansy is sharing with us today and has shared with us a few weeks ago definitely helps us to get off of that negative pattern merry-go-round about who we are and how we see ourselves in relation to our body image. So that's a nice segue into perhaps how we think about our body image too. So did you have any thoughts you'd like to share about that?
Yeah, when you talk about that cycle, like I talk in the book about this sort of diet cycle, which I think I mentioned last time, but also like we sort of believe that feeling dissatisfied with ourselves and feeling ashamed and guilty is going to motivate us to do good things, when when we're feeling hatred towards ourselves, we're feeling uncomfortable in our body, we're not taking care of it. We're more likely to sort of either push it really hard or give up. So I suppose it is that sort of cycle of the mindset, and things like, there's a lot of research around things like weight stigma, like whether that's an internalized stigma or it's something that we've got from a doctor or things that we've heard, can really impact our ability to care for ourselves. So for some people, if they're of a higher weight and they've been constantly told that they need to lose weight, going to the gym can become very anxiety provoking, because they may have been many times before and never lost weight, and it's like, here I go again, trying this thing again. And so when we have that goal of weight, it can really add a lot into that sort of internal dialogue that we have, that we're not good enough, we're never going to do this.
It can be soul destroying, can't it?
Definitely. And I think we're focusing on the wrong thing, which is I want to feel happy and alive and content and joyful. I want to enjoy life and live my life to the fullest. So that's really what the book's very much about.
Lee, thank you so much. You shared it to her Facebook page. Really appreciate that. And Yes, so it is. It's about helping each other to get the information that they need. But I think, Tansy, you're absolutely right. It is we need to change the way that we see the way that we think about it and the way we see it, and choosing to be happy regardless of it. It is. Do you have some tips and tools about how to do that? Because I know, even personally, I've been conditioned for well over half my life. Another thing, I was into my 30s and I was at my heaviest, which is about 140 kilos. I don't know if I shared that last time. I can't remember. No. But everything about who I was tied to that being, the fat chick or the skinny chick. And of course, once I lost all that weight, I had no idea about who I was, and had my train crash of a life, even train crashed even more, which is, I'm grateful for it now, but then it was pretty bloody awful. But we do get conditioned around that, just by the media and our peers, and so some things around how we go about it when we're so firmly ingrained in having this, since birth almost, or even before birth.
Yeah,
when our mothers were worried about putting on weight when they were pregnant,
Yeah. There's probably a few things, and I go into different depths through the book. So something that you raised there is even just self-identity, who do we think we are, and thinking our body represents who we are, and who would I be if I lost weight, and that can be a fear as well, because we can sort of think, once I lose weight, then who will I be? What will I do? All these things that we've made conditional. So there's a lot of in the book, I cover a lot of self-identity and judgment. There's also a lot of, relaxation and just being in the moment, really feeling into your body, and also feeling into eating, the sensory experience of eating as well, and how your body's responding. So it's I suppose, getting out of that self-talk of who we are and getting more into the moment. And one of the things that we work through a lot in the book as well is a lot of the rules that we've learned. There's a lot of things. Sometimes getting into self-identity is quite deep, and but just to start with, it's really good just to look at some of those rules that we've been told that aren't true, or just cause us to fall into a habit of under-eating or overeating. We under-eat, and then we end up getting so hungry that we'll eat everything and anything. And a lot of these are the stories like, got to eat everything on my plate, or I really shouldn't be eating a second serve of this, or dessert, or I should be eating breakfast, I shouldn't be eating after 8 p.m. A lot of these things that they've been given to us as in a useful way, but they erode trust in our own body, and we stop listening to our own body. And then we can feel guilty. If I'm hungry at 9:30 at night and I think, okay, I can't possibly eat, then the next morning I'll probably be starving and will eat everything in the house that I can, or I might wake up at 11 and have a binge, for example. So the rule doesn't really serve in any way, except to make me feel guilty and ashamed of my behaviour. So really looking at some of these rules, that a lot of us have the same rules, and then there's ones that we've learned ourselves throughout life. But so much diet talk that, as you say, it's so commonplace that we get it when we're small children, of I shouldn't be eating that, or I should be eating all of this, or should be having more of something, rather than listening to our own body is telling us, okay, I'm hungry right now, I'm hungry at 5 o'clock, I shouldn't be eating at 5 o'clock. And then by the time 7:30 comes around, you eat really fast, in a rush, because you just want to get that food in as fast as you possibly can. You might end up eating and try to eat something else afterwards because you're still really hungry, and you've let yourself get too hungry. So it's really just learning to trust yourself. And I think that can be obviously hard when you've your weight, a larger weight body, and there's a lot of sort of stigma that you've maybe internally or externally. There's a lot of learning to trust that your body's doing the right thing, even if your body's holding more weight than you would like it to be holding. It's doing so for a reason. There's it's protecting you. When you think of different health conditions that people might have, we think of weight as the cause of so many health conditions, when often it's health conditions are the cause of weight gain. We focus on the weight, not the health condition. To do.
One of the things that I found was, I mean, I used to be totally addicted to fast food, junk food, McDonald's, and like fries and the burgers and I mean, I could not imagine anything worse right now, because so I know that it is something that you can actually move through and get over. But if I'd listened to my body back then, I probably I have a quite a healthy addiction to broccoli. Which is like, but seriously, it's quite amazing how you can, if you listen to your body, what your body will tell you what it needs. But just, I think you mentioned earlier meditation. I think being quiet enough just to tap into that, trying to quiet your body or quiet your mind, so you can actually tap into what your body really wants, would be a really helpful tool.
Because we sort of think that my body wants like chips, for example, but it's like, really, it's often that my mind has a story that chips are bad and I deserve them because I've been really good. I feel rebellious. I want some time for myself. Yeah. There's so many other reasons that come into it. It's not purely about your body. And if you sit down to mindfully eat some chips and eat, really taste them and feel the texture and without it, any distractions, without sort of judgment, without thinking I shouldn't be doing this. You eat as many chips as you feel comfortable eating. And often when we feel that sort of guilt and shame, we potentially just eat a whole bag of chips without even knowing what we're doing. Whereas when we're really mindful, we eat as many chips as feels good for our body. So I've had like an interesting example. So I had a client who would drink like 2 liters of Coke every single day, and she was drinking a Diet Coke, and she's like, I couldn't possibly live without my Diet Coke. And so rather than saying, you shouldn't be drinking Diet Coke or it's not good for you or anything like that, just focused on the sensory experience of drinking Coke and also why she was drinking it. And she just realized, one, it's, a habit. I'm just pulling it out of the cupboard. Out of the fridge. I'd been told by Weight Watchers that, Diet Coke's a good thing to be drinking. And so it was sort of like these rules had been reinforced in her brain that I deserve a treat. Diet Coke is probably the lowest calorie treat that I can have. And so she wasn't really drinking it for the joy of it. So when she sort of stopped and actually sat down with a Diet Coke with no distractions, she drank it after her meal, she realized she didn't really like the taste, and she only really wanted it once or twice a week, not 2 liters of it every single day. So it's not about like saying I shouldn't be drinking Coke, but it's more like, do I really enjoy this? Is it feeling really good for my body? Do I need this? Something else that I'm looking for? And often we just grab for food because we're wanting self-care or time out or something, another emotional need rather than actually food. It's not necessarily about controlling it. It's more about being aware of that and then asking yourself, what do I really need right now?
I love that approach. It really does get us hooked back into who we are. And I like what you're also saying is about being present and being aware of what's happening around us, because we do, and I know I've done it myself, we just sort of sometimes go through life just on autopilot and we're not aware of what's happening around us and what it does happen automatically. So I'm just going to put out a last call for people. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. If you're in Australia, if you're not, there's probably Saturday evening if you are in the US, or early hours of the morning, depending on which side of the US you're on. I think it's quite going into evening time where you are now, aren't you? Isn't it? So I just wanted to just have a look, just to make sure. I've got my phone here because sometimes the comments don't come up here as well as what we'd like, but I think we've got everybody here. And what I'm going to do is we had some people comment from the last time that we had you on, and we're going to draw the prize. I'll just turn that off now. So we're going to draw the winner for your book, Joyful Eating. While I'm doing some numbering here, can you perhaps share, if you have anything else on offer, like can people tap into your, obviously purchase your book? We've got a link to your business page up here. And it is anything else? Oh, hang on.
Another comment.
We've got someone from over in the watch party. Thank you, Theone, for monitoring that. So Faye is in as well.
Wonderful.
Okay. So, yeah, so just share how we can get in touch with you. We do know that your business page is up here, but is there any courses that you run or?
Yep. So I've got obviously there's the book. You can find it on the website and most places that you can buy books, and it is as a paperback and ebook. So even the winner today, if you want to get it as paperback, I'm happy to provide that with a bit of postage fee, will be fine. And I do have, as well as the book, I have a workbook that comes with it as well. So there's a lot of self-reflection activities throughout the book to help, because I suppose it's very much about discovering for yourself what are your own rules and beliefs and self-judgment and self-doubt, all these sorts of things that play a role in your relationship with food and your body. So self-reflections activities really help you to sort of find that for yourself. And so I've got a supplementary workbook that you can download for free on my website. And at the moment, I'm just offering some private consultations as well, some nutrition counselling sessions, and doing lots of writing as well, like really debunking a lot of diet myths. So I have a blog there and definitely open to people's questions about different diets. So we find, now I suppose weight loss diets are sort of out of favour, and we're getting into sort of lifestyle wellness diets, and often they're, just a different way to say the same thing. We're still restricting and controlling ourselves, still have lots of rules. And there's a lot that we don't know about our bodies.
There is a lot. There's absolute lot. So just we've got 8 people who have gone into, we've put into the draw. I see Lindley's here as well. Hi, Lindley. Lovely to see you here. She's giving us some hearts. So if you want to give us some hearts while we do the draw for a copy of the Joyful Eating book that is released by Tansy. Now, when did you release the book? Is it a recent release?
Yep. So it was end of July this year. So not long. Yeah. So it's just getting out there and sharing this message. And I think it's a good time of the year to sort of think about the beginning of next year. So often, people don't realise they're even getting hooked in by the next fad diet. So hopefully, people get hold of it in the next few months and really start the new year with just a more relaxed attitude towards their food and bodies.
So we don't have to go, that's it, my New Year's resolution is to lose 30 kilos, and and then you run off on this whatever you're on the treadmill and then you're not eating for 48 hours, and then you just go, well, that didn't work.
and it's just and that sort of yearly cycle, like probably the one thing that we're really certain of, because there's a lot of debate around weight loss research. Pretty much all the research shows that it's very hard to do. It's a very small percentage of people can lose weight and maintain that. But the worst thing we can do for our health is yo-yo diet, be on a diet, off a diet, even if we're only talking about like a few kilos, and we constantly, every year we're trying to lose another 5 kilos or whatever it might be. Is that can affect our health at any size, and, with different health conditions and medications and things like this. So, that idea of just wanting to lose a few kilos every summer is not a healthy thing to be doing. It's much more, for me, it's more about self-care and looking after your body.
It is, absolutely. Now, Faye is over in the Women in Business Adelaide community, and she said so important to find happiness within yourself beyond your shape. Yes, and Faye, if you did join us a little bit later in the broadcast, we did talk about that earlier on, so feel free to jump in and catch the replay. Theone just ate chocolate. She's justified it because as soon as this broadcast is finished, I'm going for a walk.
I have chocolate because you enjoy chocolate. I finished the book with a little quote from a client who she said to me, after working with me, that guilt that you feel after eating. And she went into a tea room and a colleague was there, and they would often talk about who was doing what diet. And, that sort of comment that we have of like, I'll have this piece of cake because I didn't have a big breakfast, or I skipped breakfast, or we have all these reasons that we use to justify our behavior rather than just accepting, I had chocolate, feels good. Now I've got the energy, I'll go for a walk. But we're not using, like, trying to compensate for it. And so this client went into the tea room and her colleague was there having a Kit Kat. And she said in the past she would have said stuff like, well, you're being naughty, or, how are you going to burn that off? Or, start talking about diets. And she just looked at her and said, you enjoy that.
Yep, you enjoy it. Absolutely. And now we know that Theone enjoyed it, and she's going to enjoy her work so much. So
free, and both of them are beautiful, nurturing things. Like eating chocolate is a beautiful, nurturing thing we can do for our body, as can going for a walk. It's seeing them both as self-care.
So you're not doing one to punish yourself for doing the other. You're doing it for self-care. I love that approach. So let's do the draw. We have 8 people. So what we're going to do, normally I do have a number picker, and we'll read out the names and we'll pick a number at random, and I'll share screens. But I thought we'd do it something different today, and so I'm going to ask Tansy. I've written your names down, and this is from last week, last time we spoke as well. So a number from 1 to 8. Just pick a number, any number, and I will tell you who the lucky prize winner is of the book Joyful Eating by Tansy Boggon. So
alrighty, number 7.
Number 7 is Erode.
Oh, wow.
I actually, there we go. It's Theone. So Theone, you will be able to contact Tansy, or put you two in contact with each other, and
wonderful.
Your copy either, well, she might, I know Theone, she's probably going to ask you for a signed copy of the hard copy.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, for
sure. But also, I would like to talk to you some more about coming and sharing your expertise with us, because I think you've got a wealth of knowledge in there about a different way of being around ourselves and around food. And I'm really looking forward to I'm going to get my own copy as well. So the link should be up here. If it's not up here, we'll just make sure that you do have it. Now, just one more question. Yes, Theone's. Woohoo! She's exciting. She'll be skipping.
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
It should happen Sunday, not Wednesday, when I can't watch. That's awesome. Everything's exactly as it's meant to be. I'll be purchasing a copy of your book, and probably electronic copy, because I'm not doing specifically what do they call it, the Marie Kondo thing, but I'm between states at the moment, states of, I was going to say joy and states of happiness, which is awesome. Also between Queensland and South Australia, and I'm just looking to get rid of a lot of baggage and excess stuff that I've been holding on to for a long time. So that's it's all exciting. So I'll go and I'll purchase an electronic copy of your book for myself. And I do hope that we do speak again. And thank you so much for jumping in. Thank you for your patience as well, because we were going to draw the winner the following week after we spoke on the Wednesday, but obviously it's all in the timing, and it's perfect timing today. So congratulations to Theone, and thank you, Tansy.
Thank you. It's wonderful to chat, and chat again sometime.
Don't go anywhere. I'll just drop you out and wind up the broadcast, and I'll just talk to you again just briefly in a moment.
All right.
Okay. the amazing Tansy Boggon, from author of Joyful Eating, has with a special episode of Community TV with Adaire. And we're live on mytimetv.live. We're also syndicated out to 50 channels of TV on demand. You normally catch me here for Community TV with Adaire on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. But this special episode today to announce the winner of the book, which was Theone. So we will see you next Wednesday on My Time TV for Community TV with Adaire. Have a great week, everybody. Bye for now.